Hi, this is Florence Ajayi Barnes, your virtual family nurse practitioner, and welcome to the Flo-Medical Show, where you get information and advice you can trust. Disclaimer: this is valuable information, but please consult your healthcare provider. Today's show will be on how to advocate for your aging loved one. Supporting an aging loved one can be difficult and challenging. One of the major challenges is communication. Most aging loved ones are not transparent to discuss their mental and medical illnesses. They also do not want to discuss their financial issues. 77% of adult children have expressed that their parents are stubborn, not willing to accept any of their advice, or not willing to take any assistance for their daily tasks. It is important to know the reason why this is. Seniors have a strong desire to remain independent. They want to retain the control of their lives for as long as possible. It is not until our emergency situation or decline in their health that it becomes evident that an intervention is warranted and assistance is needed in the home. Most aging individuals will hide, minimize, and downplay their health issues. So, how do we get our aging loved ones to accept our help? One is showing them respect. Do not just jump in there and give them your recommendation and advice, because they will resist it and they will become defensive. It is important that you take time to give them respect and also assess the situation. You want to see how well is that elderly individual doing on their own. What is it that you feel that they need help with? Focus on their strengths and not their weaknesses. And how can you best help them in finding out what you can do in the home to allow them to be as independent as possible? Two, it is important that you choose your words carefully. You want to make sure you're not directly telling them that they are unable or can't do something. For example, you're too old to drive yourself to your healthcare provider's appointment. Right then and there, they will become defensive because they think that you're taking over their care and you're removing them from their independent life. So you can alter your communication to offer them their help. For example, I would like to drive you to your healthcare provider appointment, and then we can spend time together afterwards. This gives you an opportunity to allow them to be involved in the care. This allows you to maybe go on the doctor or the healthcare provider appointment with them to find out what's going on with them. And then it gives you time to be in the home to assess what the needs are. So it's important that you make sure you determine how to best talk to them. Also, you want to focus on their strengths and not their weaknesses. Their strengths, we know that they're older adults. They have a bunch of wisdom. They have raised you. So therefore, you can focus on how well they've done raising you and how they have a broad range of information that they've helped you with, and also how they can best stay in the home and be independent. But you also want to focus on some of the weaknesses that you see. Mom, Dad, you've done wonderful all by yourself, paying your bills, going to your MD appointments, but I see that there are unopened mail on the table. I just want to make sure that everything's okay and the bills are being paid. I also see that there's clothing in the hamper that it looks like it's been there for some time. I can offer to do the laundry or assist you to do the laundry. Also, I don't see that there's a lot of food in the refrigerator. Would you like me to go to the supermarket and do some shopping for you? Would you like me to help you with some of the housekeeping in the home for areas that you can't reach, like under the bed or above the cabinets? You are allowing them to remain independent, but you're just offering your services. It's important that they know that they can remain independent in the home. Safety is also a major topic that should be discussed. Safety, which includes calling your loved one regularly. Hearing their voice can determine, are they agitated? Are they anxious? Are they calm? How are they feeling? You also should make unscheduled visits. Scheduled visits are usually what the loved one wants. They want to give you a perfect household, letting you know that everything is going well. But an unscheduled visit will give you a better picture of what's going on in that home. Do you see that the house is untidy, that they're ungroomed, that there's no food in the refrigerator, that the laundry is not done, there's an odor on them, there's an odor in the home? So unscheduled visits will allow you to see what it is that they need. And when you're telling them you're coming over or you're outside or you're in the neighborhood, you can put it, I haven't seen you in a couple of days and I'm in the neighborhood and I would like to see you. I was going to see Johnny and I figured I'll see you too because you guys live close by one another. So changing your tone, also offering the services and not directing the care would sometimes allow your elderly loved one to receive what you're saying. Also with safety, if you do not live in the same hometown or if you don't live in the same city as your loved one, you may want to put a small device, a camera, that you can see their daily activities. But it's important that you put it in a place that they're not able to see it. If they find it, they will start to be distrusting. They may feel that someone's watching them and they start to be paranoid. So you're doing it for their safety, so make sure that they do not see where the device is. You want to also be able to pre-pour their medications. If it's a 7-day supply, you get a cassette and you put the medications for each day that they should be taking their medications. So that when you call, can you say, Mom, can you go to Tuesday and open the cassette? And if there's a pill in there, you know that they didn't remember to take the pill for that day. It gives you a better sound mind of knowing what medications that were taken and what medications they haven't taken. You also will want to set up some safety modalities, a grab bar in the shower chairs when they're sitting down so they can take the shower for their safety, some traction rugs that are in the tub, a commode, so if they're waking up at night to use the bathroom and the house is not lit, they don't have to walk down the hall to the bathroom. They can always just use the commode at the bedside. Also give a safety device for them around their neck so that if they get chest pain or they feel ill, they can ring that and they can get medical attention. Get an alert bracelet for them so that everyone knows what illnesses, diseases, and allergies that loved one has. These safety mechanisms allow them to remain in their home and their independency can remain as well. So it's important that we all decide what is best for our loved ones. How do we know when immediate attention is warranted? If you notice that your loved one is acting recklessly, or they're neglecting themselves, or their behavior is endangering their safety. Are they leaving the doors open? Are they wandering at night? Are they not showering? Are they acting delusional and paranoid? These are all things that need to be addressed immediately. Most often, it's because of some kind of cognitive deficit. That loved one can be suffering from Alzheimer's or some various forms of dementia. So that should be addressed with the healthcare provider. There are some physical signs that you will see happening to your loved one. For example, weight loss. If you notice that they're having weight loss, it could be for medical reasons or because of social reasons. It could be because they don't have any dentures, or their dentures have broken, or their dentures don't fit right. It hurts when they chew. Getting them dentures will sometimes just alleviate the eating habit problem. Or maybe there's no food in the refrigerator because no one was able to go shopping for them. So if you notice weight loss, it could be many reasons why they're having weight loss. If you see them having poor hygiene could be because they're not showering as often as they should. They're not grooming their hair, cleaning their nails, brushing their teeth. You want to make sure that someone gets in the home and attends to those issues. Proper clothing. Sometimes the clothing they're wearing are soiled, and it could be because of some kind of medical condition, which is incontinence. They're unable to hold their urine or their stool, causing that to go on their clothing. And then not washing the clothing, you smell it every day. They may need just some pull-ups or some incontinent pads. That can just solve the problem. And then also have it addressed with their healthcare provider. Also offering them to do the laundry. If you help them to do the laundry, they'll have more cleaner clothes. See if they're wearing the appropriate clothes for the weather. Sometimes it's cold outside and you see them with just a t-shirt. But again, they may not realize that their cognitive abilities have declined. So that is when you know immediate attention in the home is warranted. There are also some mental signs that you'll see. If you notice that your loved one is sleeping more, their sleeping habits have changed, they have a lack of drive and motivation, they're more physically and verbally aggressive and agitated towards you, these are things that you want to recognize because cognitively something's going on. It should be addressed with the healthcare provider, but that also means that immediate intervention is needed. But you're not alone. There are so many resources out there that will enable your aging loved one to remain at home. You have social workers, home health aides, nurses. These are people that can come to home to make it safe and allow your aging loved one to remain at home. There may be times that the aging loved ones may be admitted to the hospital, only so that these services can be getting in a prompt time. So sometimes staying at home, it may take a longer time for these services to get in the home, but if they're admitted to the hospital, the social worker in the hospital can help them to get all of these services. And then it doesn't become overwhelming for the family member that is at home taking care of this aging loved one. There are many steps that are important that whenever this aging loved one is getting older, that must be put into place in order for you to best advocate for them. One of those are choosing or delegating a point person. That means that the family comes together and decides that you are the person that all the medical providers will go to. You are the designated person to make decisions for your loved one. This is usually the person that the loved one feels the closest to, and this is usually the person that that aging loved one feels the most comfortable with making decisions for them. And this is so that we don't go to each family member, but we have a designated person that we can go to. Once that designated person is chosen, that person needs to complete a medical advance directives. Once the family has chosen that individual needs to complete a medical power of attorney. This medical power of attorney will allow this individual to make all the medical decisions for their loved one. It is usually the person that's closest to them and knows their wishes. 2, they should go on all or most of all the appointments. It's important that we know what's going on with that loved one, because this loved one has many illnesses because of their age, and you want to make sure you know what's going on. Also, if the healthcare provider has drawn labs or blood work and have done imaging like CAT scan and MRIs, when they're giving the results, you want to be there to be the intermediary person to explain that to your loved one. Because most loved ones, they tend to get agitated and they get irritable when they hear medical lingo, and it makes them a little scared. But you as that loved one and that point person can better explain and reassure them as to what's going on. 3, make sure before every appointment that you are writing down what you intend on discussion with the healthcare provider. You want to make sure if it's something with their cognitive deficit or they're incontinent, frequent falling, if there's something that majorly needs to be discussed, you discuss it on the visit, but you need to write it down so you don't forget. And then you want to wrap up the visit with the healthcare provider and your aging loved one. Make sure the aging loved one doesn't have any questions that they remember, and make sure they kind of understand before they're leaving. 4, it's important to get advanced medical directives. Advanced medical directives is making sure we give the patient their wishes. As your aging loved one gets older, they tend to have more decisions that they want not done. For example, if in the event they stop breathing or their heart stops, they may not want to be resuscitated. So they will decide they don't want to be intubated, which is a tube stuck in their throat to be stuck on a ventilator. They may decide to go comfortably and not be resuscitated. Some family members or some aging loved ones do not want artificial nutrition, meaning that if they're unable to chew on their own, that a tube is placed in their throat to get the feeding. Sometimes a tube is placed in the stomach for the feeding. That aging loved one may decide they don't want any aggressive treatment. They may not want blood transfusion. So when you get advanced medical directives, this is giving your aging loved ones the choice and the wishes that they desire. So that is written down, this individual does not want this, they do not want this, and we give them the wishes that they desire. In the event that they are unable to make their own decisions, then it will be the person that was designated that has the medical power of attorney, they will make that decision. It is also important to get a financial power attorney. Make sure that your aging loved one's finances are in order. Because when it comes to them being aging and they are unable to remain at home and they require to go to a rehab or extended facility, you want to make sure that their finances are in order. Most insurances or governmental programs will not release any monies unless their estate or their monies have been used first. So make sure that the financial aspect is in order. And lastly, whenever going to any medical appointments with your loved one, make sure that all the list of doctors, healthcare providers, their addresses, and their numbers are all written down. Also, the list of medications, the dosage, and the frequency, so that everyone is on the same page. If anything is discontinued, anything is changed, anything that they want to add, we all know what's going on. Each provider, each specialist know what's being changed and what's going on. So these are one of the major important steps that everyone should do or go through when they have an aging loved one that they're advocating for. But again, you're not alone in this process either, because they have many agencies and many programs that help the caregiver to allow this aging loved one to stay at home. And one of those programs is the Freedom Care. This is a program in which you have your family member taking care of another family member. So this agency hires your loved one to take care of the aging loved one. This is such a great program because not only does the aging loved one already love and know this individual, it allows the care to go smoother. And then the caregiver was already taking care of this aging loved one, and now they're getting paid for it. Sometimes aging loved ones do not want strangers in their home. They tend to get paranoid thinking that they're going to steal from them and things like that. So then they don't want anyone in the home. But since this program enables loved ones to take care of this aging individual, it is a great program for people to stay in their homes. You also have the NCC, which is the National Center for Caregivers. This not only helps the aged individual, but it comes to the aid of the caregiver. The caregiver is doing so much work, having a lot of things going on with this aging individual, and they need the support as well. So the NCC is there to support the caregiver. Remember, when caring for an aging loved one, it is challenging, but it is also rewarding. Remember, you're not alone. There are many agencies and many specialties that allows this aging loved one to remain in the home to be as independent as possible. There you have it. Now you have the information, know what to look out for, and how to best advocate for your loved one. Please like, subscribe, and share this information with anyone you feel can benefit from it. My name is Florence Ajayi Barnes, your virtual family nurse practitioner, and thank you for joining us on the Flo-Medical Show. See you next time.